Nerdy 4. My name's Amy Brown, and this is my comedy podcast where I interview funny, interesting people and find out what they're nerdy for. Today we had Damon Sumner on. He is a delight. He is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, and we talk about how he loves candy, how he's raising his family, which is very strict, which I didn't see coming because he's usually very sweet to me. And we also talk about how he has figured out all these different ways as a comedian to make money, especially when you're supporting your family and trying to keep them up to their eyeballs in candy bars. Enjoy the show. Welcome to Nerdy 4. Tonight, I have a very special guest. I have a wonderful friend who I have known in comedy now I've been doing it for 6 years. You've been doing it for much longer. But he is always the person us youngins go. We sit at his feet at the end of every show. We're like, David, how do we do it? How do we get as funny as you? You get booked, you're traveling, you do cruises, you're so funny, you're so nice. Please welcome to Nerdy 4, my friend Damon Sumner.
What's going on? That was too kind and also not fully true. Okay, nobody's sitting at feet. I'm actually pro feet, but we don't have to get into that.
Oh, hey, let's go. Let's go. Clean
but
show.
Yeah, excited to be here. Excited to be here.
You can do whatever you want with feet. This is America.
You know the Gen Z's very foot opposed?
In what way?
They don't like exposed feet.
Strike one.
But wait a minute.
Strike one.
There's a whole website dedicated to celebrity feet.
There are, but it's a weird. I thought it was just like a coincidence, but like because a few of the Gen Zers I've met been like, well, why are you wearing open-toed shoes or something like that? Get your feet out. But then one of my friends who's a teacher, she teaches 10th grade. She was like, no, like they're all over. I was like, you got to be against something because they're all very open. They have a lot of things, so they have
you
to.
You got to find
one
something to shut down.
To like,
you got to find.
No.
All right.
No feet.
Pinky toes.
No feet.
I'm out.
But she said that like, at least in her school, that like socks and sandals are like the thing now.
They're all turning into Germans.
It's socks and Crocs out here in these streets.
Yeah, which whenever back in my day in school, that you wear that to school, you're getting torn up.
Easy. As soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk in the cafeteria.
People are like, what's wrong with their feet? What do you got?
I did an exchange program and I was in Spain and there was on the coast and there was a very robust naked German man that would be there every day, would walk to school by the naked German and he would wear socks and Birkenstocks and just drag his sack across the rocky pebbles,
like
but
we
his
say
feet were safe.
We're like 50, 80. So those are different type of gravity.
I was 17, so
you were 17,
yes,
so everything looked.
Yes, and. So
dragging the sack, that's such a vivid picture that you just
Have we already started? Are we going?
No, we're going. We're live. Okay. We're live with dragging
that welcome was
sack.
strong.
Yeah.
This one's not going to be clean, even though my friend Damon Sumner is one of the best clean comics in the world.
Let's pause. Can we pause there for a second?
I was trying to think where you. Well,
let's talk about that word just for half a second.
You can
just
go dirty. I've seen you go dirty.
Well, I can because I've got skills. But what I want to say is, what comes to your mind when you hear clean? What comes to your mind? I'm intrigued when comics.
Money. Ooh. Bookings.
Okay.
Cruises.
That's where you went.
Executive functioning. Oh, let's let Amy back into the garden club because she's not going to ruin the chicken salad again with all of her pussy jokes.
That's different. Pussy and chicken salad. I don't know if that's a great combo, but I hear it. So that's the route you went. You didn't go with the material. You went with opportunities here, which there is some validity in. I don't know how deep we get into comedy on your podcast, but I'm always intrigued because it is such a relative term, right? There's like tiers of clean.
I've heard that for some places in North Carolina, you can't even talk about duty. And I'm sorry, children doodooing is the funniest thing that they do.
Brand top three for sure. Top three for sure.
What would be top two?
I mean, anytime I see a fat babies in general.
The rolls?
Just a fat baby. No, I'm not talking about an infant.
No, but the Cheerios get stuck in the fat?
No. I'm talking like a third grader whose polo can't go all the way down. Yeah, and there's like a couple of Cookie Crisp crumbs on the side of his mouth.
Shout out, Jose.
That's getting to me, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm not talking about an infant who can't help it. No.
Is this a personal story?
No. Well, I don't know. I feel like every 8 out of 10 Americans had a fat era. I don't know if that was your lane here looking at your slenderness.
So Tina Fey talks about this. Every woman has been every size. Like I've been 16, size 16. I've been size 2. And now I'm just the perfect size.
Come on now.
I don't know what it is. I don't look. I just put on the clothes.
Just put the clothes on.
I don't get on the scale.
We don't get on scales. Do I feel good?
Yeah.
Am I breathing normal? Let's go. Let's go. We're good.
Just don't go visit altitude and try to go up the stairs. It'll make you feel fat real quick.
Real quick.
Oh my goodness, you talk so fast. This feels like we're going quickly.
I'm hype. I'm locked in now.
You're high and you're locked in.
No, I'm just locked in. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I feel good
I'm in this
too.
nice house, comfortable. Got expensive art around me. I'm feeling good.
This is my costume chamber. Do you want to put on some outfits after this?
Not at all, but I'm excited to watch.
I didn't think you would. I didn't think you would. Behind those doors, I should do a video of behind the doors are all my costumes.
Costumes back there.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's a very big term. You got to break that down. What do we mean? Like, we mean like
Oh.
Pikachu? What we
Wide.
talking?
It's a wide range.
It's a wide range.
No, nothing with like dominatrix in the title. Well, maybe a couple. No, it's like for Halloween.
Okay.
Like the wedding dress my grandmother wore.
Both closets are full of costumes.
Yes.
Your Bridgerton stuff.
I don't have a lot of parameters on my life, so I am basically a large child.
I see that. I see two. I'm looking at, just in case you want, I'm looking behind two double door closets. Closed with mirrors. You have 4 mirrors on the closet.
I believe in one of those drawers there's like 3 tiaras.
It's one of the whole drawers wigs.
Yeah.
Wigs. We've learned a lot already in 15
But
minutes.
this is about me. I am boring. You are very interesting.
I don't know if the word is boring.
Damon Sumner, what are you nerdy for?
What am I nerdy for? Sweets. I'm all in on sweets. I'm a sweets connoisseur.
You talk about that. Do you talk about that on stage?
I used to a lot more, but not so much now.
Okay.
Love sweets.
And then I feel like sweets is kind of geographically oriented, like kind of what
Plays
you
a part.
grew up with.
Plays
is
a
what
part.
you want to have. Tell me what your favorites are.
Currently? You want to know currently?
Take me on your journey. Paint a picture.
Man, let's get
but
into
make it
it.
funny because
Sure,
it's
sure,
still a funny podcast. No pressure.
Well, I grew up. So here's the thing. My first growing up here, I grew up in, let's say, the 90s, right? Right? 90s kid. You're a 90s kid. We're 90s kids. And so
I was
grew
in
up
college. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm a 90s kid.
I was like about
So
to
I
get
grew up-
married. It's fine. You keep going.
I grew up on white women. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I grew up Lil Debbie, Betty Crocker, Sarah Lee. Those were it for me in Topanga. But those were the ladies here who did it for me. So you want to talk about snack cakes? I had them all. I'm a Star Crunch, Cosmic Brownie, Strawberry Shortcake type of man. You understand?
I'm having a flashback right now.
should.
I forgot all those names.
Oh no, baby, the oatmeal cream pie. We can get it into it, all of it. So that was it. My mom would go. I'm the oldest of 3 boys, single mom, and so she would take us to the bread house. You know, if you remember the bread house?
What's a bread house?
Essentially, it would be a small little shop where they primarily had like bread and hot buns and all these things.
Like a bakery?
No, not that fancy.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. You know, things were packaged. But like, so we have all the breads or whatever, but then they would also have like the snack cakes over there and Hostess and Ding Dongs and Twinkies. All of that.
Near like the factory where they make them? Because we had one of those in 2 towns over from my town.
Could've
was the
been.
place where they had the factory and then we
Yeah.
could go to like the cheaper place to get it.
Boom. That sounds about right.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
You get a lot of the ones that aren't good enough to go
Yeah.
go on the line or go in the boxes.
Bring those over there. Put a big old 50-cent sticker on that bad boy.
A nice round
So
sticker.
So that's part 1. Part 2 is that I didn't grow up eating healthy, right? You know, single moms, they do what they can. Shout out to them, hard working.
Eating healthy just got invented like 5 years ago.
Just 5 years ago. And it's been affordable for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so, and not
Still
anymore because
not.
eggs are like $80.
I'm eating an avocado every day right now. I have to start making money at comedy.
You're gonna have to if you eat an avocado every day here, but you got that good fat in you. But part 2 was that my mom also loves sweets, so we were ice cream heavy as well. So not only did I go from my pantry being full of snack cakes, our deep freezer. You have a deep freezer here?
We like a chest like.
Yeah. What was that?
That's the chest with the freezer, and you
Okay.
open up the door, and inside.
Show me your act out of grabbing
more
out
time.
some stuff of it. Open it up and grab something out.
Oh, so then I would push the chair over, and I was a child, get into the deep freezer,
Get in.
dig for the frozen dinner that had the brownie in it, because that's the good one. Pull it out. Try not like in the north where I grew up. It would get too cold, and you couldn't bury your pets in the winter, and just try not to see.
What a jump!
Try not to see any dead
That
animals.
transition was
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see where you're rich your whole life.
No,
Because you were swimming like Scrooge McDuck in your deep freezer. I was like, this woman has
It was a big
breadth
one.
and
It
width.
was in the kitchen. We didn't have a garage or an outdoors. My parents were just like,
Yeah,
put
it was just right here on the side.
Yeah.
Fridge, boom.
90% of our food's coming out of this frozen
Coming
situation.
out of there, baby. Get these chicken nuggets out of here and these Salisbury steak patties and sit down.
Yeah, and I would cook my own food.
That was it.
I had to push the chair over.
Had to push the chair over to get in that bad boy.
To get into
100%. So that's where our popsicles and ice cream sandwiches and all of that was going over there. So I was living life. I had 4 cavities by like 6. And so we were good at it. I drunk like, a cup of water at school, never at home. It was Kool-Aid and Sunny D for me.
Oh, wow. That is
so when I say I love sugar.
Do you still have both of your original feet?
I have one good foot and a bad hip. So that's where we're at right now.
The diabetes is in the hip.
I had to start drinking water in college. I broke out. And I was like, something should change.
On your face, like zits?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, and so I was like,
you were in Texas. That's very
at that time
dehydrating.
I was. Yeah. Now, I'm originally, it's important so our friendship can grow. I'm originally from Louisiana. That's important to know.
Oh,
yeah, it's important to know.
I put you in Texas. You went to college in Texas. Is that where you met Katoya?
I met Katoya. We moved around a lot. Okay. Mom trying to get work going. So met her in Texas in high school. Graduated from college in high school. Yeah.
Louisiana. Where in Louisiana?
Shreveport, Louisiana, baby.
I have a friend from there.
Shreveport. Let her know.
Shreveport.
We taking notes too?
Well, I like to take notes on all of my friends. I put them in the files.
This is good. Well,
do you not have files on your friends?
If I need a file, I've already blocked you on Facebook.
Fair enough.
That's it.
It's too many political posts. Okay. You love sweets. You named a bunch. You have cavities. Do you still have cavities?
I still have cavities.
You're eating ice cream.
Yeah.
You are a normal weight now. Is this new?
Well, my doctor wouldn't say normal. Actually, I lied. I don't have a doctor. But I tried to feel cool in here in front of the art. I don't have a doctor.
How's comedy going?
Comedy's going well.
Good.
Comedy's going well. It's
How
a good
far
season.
in comedy do you go when you get the doctor?
I'll tell you when I see it. If I don't have a van and my shirt off on Netflix, I don't know.
Heyo, like Bert Kreischer.
I'm not using names. I'm just saying.
I've thought about that. And I wonder if any, I have to get holler here. I wonder if any women have taken their shirt off to be like the female Bert Kreischer.
Maybe Whitney Cummings.
Yeah,
she's had her pants off a lot the last few years. I feel like she's been real free.
She's real free. You're right. She's just out there.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Good for her.
So you met Katoya. You're in Atlanta. You are full-time comedy now.
Full-time comedy.
Do you want to talk about comedy? Or do you want to talk more about sweets? Do you want to hear about my sweets?
I'm here.
What's your favorite current sweet though?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
What's your favorite current one?
Current sweet right now. I'm actually back in the candy bars right now.
Ooh,
okay.
That's what I'm back. So right now, I've had 100 grand 2 times in the last 2 weeks, which is a good rate for me. If I get 1 candy bar a week, I'm doing okay.
You're like Willy Wonka. You're gonna start a factory?
I could.
I know what to get you for Christmas.
I could. You please do that. Now it's gotta be good chocolate though. I think white chocolate.
bar is good chocolate.
White chocolate is we're not here for that.
Chocolate.
White chocolate is.
That's for people who are allergic to caffeine.
Ugh.
It's a health food for.
It's the megabus of chocolate. If I'm honest with you out here, I'm not a fan of it.
A megabus?
Yeah, you never been on a no.
The way she said that.
It sounds fun.
Megabus.
What's a megabus? It sounds like a big
It's
bus.
not fun
Is there
at all.
shopping? Is there
No,
a pizza oven
No.
and the megabus?
You've tried to make this into a mall court. It is none of the things.
Now I'm thinking we should start a business where we try to get rich people to ride the megabus and make
that
them
would be
think
a time.
it's a fun.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're like, oh, it's like camping.
Yeah.
You know. Have you ever had to go somewhere you only have $12 but you do have 2 days?
Are the drugs free? That's what I'm worried
No,
about.
no.
The
And they're
drugs
not
aren't free.
quality either.
No. Nor does the bathroom
Fentanyl
work.
favorite. Ketamine. What's the thing that's getting in all the drugs right now? Anyone here? know? Fentanyl. And what's ketamine?
You do drugs? What you doing over here?
I don't do drugs.
Ketamine's a
my
tranquilizer.
My drug is vodka and cheese dip.
Vodka and cheese dip.
Fentanyl.
That's a good combo.
Yeah.
Did I answer the? Oh yeah. So candy bars answer the question.
100 gram.
Right there. What's
Do you
yours
like
right
a
now?
dark? Do you like a dark chocolate? Do you
Not at
go
all.
to the Whole Foods?
I'm a milk chocolate type of man.
Do you get 100? According to the gods of white women, Gwyneth Paltrow and Oprah Winfrey.
You just tried to adopt her in there? You just tried to slide her in there real quick.
Well,
I saw
Oprah's-
what you did with Lizzo. You can't just pull up on Oprah, okay?
Oprah has been the queen of white women since I was a child. My grandmother told me. She's
That
like,
just means she's mainstream. Don't get it twisted out here, Amy.
My grandmother told me when I was 22 years old, she took me aside and she said, Amy, your mother did not get the best years of my life when I was parenting her because we didn't have Oprah yet.
Oprah Winfrey. What a legend.
And I was like, I think you should apologize to her, not me.
She's like, well, I wouldn't do that.
well, let's not take it that far.
That's outrageous.
That's Dr. Drew.
That'd be admitting fault.
Yeah. So your dark chocolate is actually supposed to be a health food, antioxidants.
Who lied and said that?
Oprah and Gwyneth Paltrow
Oh,
and
no.
all the doctor.
She also made a candle that smells like her vagina.
Oh, I'm out on that. I'm out right there. Who, Gwyneth did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm out on her.
So I grew up on a farm. I know not to breathe out my nose at times. I can just lock it down, so I don't know what mine smells like.
I don't think that it's necessarily that the vagina smell bad per se, but it's just
An
it's
acquired
pretty bold.
taste?
It's pretty bold to
That's
be
what it is.
anything, penis or vagina. I think
Any
it's
of
just
it.
a bold thing to be like, hey,
Anything.
you know what? My genitalia should fill a
Anything
room.
in underwear should not be on a shelf at a Target.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
yeah.
we're saying. That's all we're
I
saying
can
right there.
get behind that 100%.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I'm a candle sniffer. I'll get into a Target. I'll be in there for 10 minutes.
You got to be careful what kind
You
of
do.
candles you buy
You
because
do.
if you get like a pumpkin pie smell
Ooh,
or
that's
something,
strong.
whatever you like, if you get a 100 grams candle smell, you're gonna get hungry and want to eat more chocolate. You can't you have to be careful
the way
what
to
you
think about it.
kind of trigger in your
Well, maybe
brain.
that's why Gwyneth made her vagina.
She put it in her husband's
She's just
separate
like,
bedroom
hey.
because you know they're not sleeping in the same room
Yeah.
anymore.
No.
She's like, just to get him,
just
let's
in
whet your
case.
appetite.
Let's put that there over there by the apples.
Hey, that's her daughter's name.
What?
Gwyneth Paltrow named her daughter Apple.
All right, okay.
This is turning into nerdy
Okay.
for white ladies.
All right.
We're supposed to be talking about
Oh,
candy.
boy.
Rich white people name their kid I'm trying to remember what the act Jason Lee, who was in a lot of the Kevin Smith films. I think he named his kid like airplane or airline pilot or
Stop it.
something.
Well-
Stop it.
Some crazy
Stop
shit like that.
Elon Musk did the worst.
Elon Musk is an idiot. Everything it does
What
is
his
dumb.
name is?
It's like R2D2
right, that's
XYZ.
It's like literally symbols. It's unpronounceable.
I've given him too much time.
Yeah.
I reclaim my time.
No. Right.
Where we at? What's
Okay.
your favorite sweet? What's your favorite sweet before we move on?
So I will like when I'm dieting and I'm feeling better than everyone else, I will have I feel like Martha Stewart, 2 squares of dark chocolate with some organic blueberries. It's a good thing. And then I go in the corner and I murder cats.
Oh boy.
Whatever
That was a good
gets you
impression.
off,
Did
right?
she kill
That was a good
cats?
impression.
Or
No,
we just
you got to do something with all that perfectionist energy. You got to take it out somewhere.
On the cats.
I would.
Well, I'm not upset if that. We don't need any cats.
I know you're not a cat or a dog person.
Well, there's a whole nother story. I don't want to mess up anybody's friend. You got pets here?
I put him away.
So here's the thing. All right.
I didn't want him to hear what you had to say.
No, because I'm once I get into my argument, you're like, I understand what you're saying. I'm pro animal. I'm anti pet. Okay.
You understand?
Pro animal, anti pet. You understand? Take a sip.
I'm
All
going
long
to
story
listen.
short is that I'm just saying, the America, specifically the Western countries, we made it really cool to have animals as pets, which is nice. Only a few, right? Specifically, the dog has went too far, and I think we should shut the whole thing down. But not just pets. This is why I'm pro animal. All of it. The circus, the zoos, the aquariums, all of it. All them bad boys free. And once we have that, then we just got to live and just make it do. Because animals, they're better than us. I don't like animals more than humans. I'm just saying they're better than, like, if a tiger just walked in here, we have no chance, right?
Oh, it's gonna
You're
eat
dead.
us.
You're full of avocado. He's going for you first, and it's like a
Yeah,
wrap for
he
you,
wants
right?
the expensive food.
I'm hopping in the closet immediately.
Hopping right in the closet. He's coming out right here with a wig on. Nobody's gonna mess with him for a second,
I
right?
might have a gorilla costume in there you could put on, scare the
I'm just
animals
saying.
away.
That's all. I'm not gonna get into it because I'm in a good
Yeah.
mood here, but it's
So
really the whole thing.
I heard the reason children have night terrors is because it's from, and I can feel all the scientists in my family rolling their eyes when I'm saying this. We have a genetic history of being attacked by large cats throughout the history of man at night. That's when they hunt. And like, you know, like you ever like have kids like wake up or even yourself wake up, like you see, like feel like you see eyes or something.
Somebody's saying it's all up in
Yeah,
us.
that's just like left over from us being eaten
Trauma.
by trauma
Trauma.
from being eaten by big cats
Look at
throughout
that.
history. And now we've got the little ones in the house. And guess what? If you die, they're gonna eat you too.
What type of pet you have?
I have a dog, a black Labrador Retriever.
Good.
Yeah,
Good dog. What's the dog's name?
his name's Carter.
It's quiet. Is he asleep?
He's just in his room with his buddy. He's my son's dog.
Son's dog.
Yeah.
Just one son has a
Your
dog?
daughter got attacked by a dog.
She did. She
That's
did.
not good. I'm so sorry.
No, it's life. She's great now.
She good?
So
Okay.
she's great.
She,
Stronger than ever.
she didn't run into a dog at your house.
Who?
Your daughter. You guys have a dog?
Oh no, that was us trying.
Oh.
That was, you want the 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Since you brought up my trauma?
I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
We don't have to talk about it, Damon Sumner.
No, it's good. We're a year removed. Long story short, I'm into, like I said, you know how I feel about pets. And the family, I'm a father of 3. Been married for 15 years. They were like, sooner or later, it starts draining in with children. It's like, what do you think about a dog? I'm like, nah, we're not ready, nor do we desire a dog. Long story short, we was like, all right, let's try it. We go to foster, we walk a dog, we do the thing. We're like, let's bring the dog home for a weekend. Day 1.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Day 1.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Everything goes down.
Yeah.
And that was all she wrote. So, that was that. But she's great.
Is she
Family's
okay?
Great.
Is she scared of dogs now?
She's not. She's amazing.
She sounds very tough.
Yeah, she's very tough. She's one of my favorites.
One of your favorite children.
Mm-hmm.
I know, you get a good child and then you get another one. And you another one. You kept
I was going to say, Amy, you only have 2 kids. They might hear this.
And they're not going to listen to
Seasons.
Mom's podcast. Are you
That's
kidding?
fair enough.
Seasons. Kids go through seasons right now. Right now, I'll tell you, my oldest daughter is my favorite currently, as of today.
It's going to change. How old is she?
Oh, it has changed. She has been my worst like 2 years ago.
How old is she now?
My oldest girl is 8. She turned 9.
Oh, it's not even teen years.
Oh, no. My son's 13, and then we get 8 and 7.
Strap on.
That's it. But, we also...
She's like, hi, Dad. Like, she's going to come home. Her eyes are going to be glowing red.
Maybe. That's just true. But also, we parent a little differently, probably, Amy.
Oh, yeah?
Probably a little bit.
How do you think you like? How do you like?
It's a boot camp at my house.
It's a boot camp.
Yeah.
Like,
White people have paid me to take care of the kids.
oh,
It's not a game.
Me too. So yeah, it's like rules.
Oh, we tight.
Is there a chore wheel?
100%.
Is there a calendar? Is there a reward system?
High fives and hugs.
High five, not like Hershey Kisses. No,
No.
no food motivation.
No food motivation here. It's great. We have a good time. It's a work hard, play hard mentality here. But yeah, they definitely go to some friends' houses sometimes and be like, man, y'all are living good. And they're like, what? Like,
Do you make them? Oh, do you make them make the bed? I'm sorry, I interrupted
no,
you.
go ahead.
Do you make them make their beds?
Oh, for sure.
Every
Like, you can't
morning.
even leave them. You can't leave your room without making your bed, being dressed, and doing your hygiene. Once you do those 3 things, then you can now enter into the living spaces.
Oh, you have kids that smell good.
Yeah, you can't walk out of a black house and not look good and smell good. You're disrespecting my grandma.
But like, are they allowed to the living room?
No, not until they've
Not
done the
until-
3 things.
Wow.
What are you doing in my living room, Stinky? What you
Fair
doing?
enough.
What you doing in there?
Well, I'm probably the stinky one in our family.
Self-awareness
I
matters.
think my husband could run a tight ship, but he goes to work every day, and then I'm alone with the children, so they're feral.
It's a balance. It's a balance. We work real hard, but we play real hard too. So I think that's key as a parent.
What does play hard mean?
Man, one of our mantras is we make little things big. So that's a big thing we love to do is make
I
little
say
things
that,
big.
and then I drink every night.
Well,
Is that what you guys do? What kind of alcohol does your children
no
take?
alcoholism in our home, but we do have
Not with that attitude. Let's go.
more chocolate, more diabetes over here. And so it's a balance. So make little things big, like, celebrations, wins, small successes. Like right now, my youngest is trying to tie her shoes. So that's a whole big whoop-de-doo we're working on. Like really try to level up those small moments of life. So that's one thing we appreciate. And then we also my wife, she's the real extrovert. I'm a phony. But laughs and parties and fun and all those laughs and jokes, that's happening.
That's wonderful. I love your wife. She's so fun.
She's amazing.
I had a great time on the dance floor with her.
Oh yeah, she'll give it to you. She's good. You should go to one of her workout classes.
Oh my God, I would love it.
Yeah.
Is there a step involved? Because I will fall off of it.
There's the one that she teaches is there's just drumsticks. It's like aerobics, but she also does the
drumsticks?
step. Yeah. It'll get your workout on for
That
sure.
sounds fun.
Oh, it's a good time.
I would love that.
You
Okay.
should.
How did you get your children to be potty trained?
Oh, you took me back there. A lot of repetition.
What does that mean? They're watching you tinkle on the toilet, and they're like, "See, this is how it's done."
No, we used to have a timer. I would just put them on the toilet. That was one of our systems here, and then just like boom. Like before after we left the house, that was guaranteed, right? And then after meals, that was a guarantee. And then let's say it's a lazy Saturday. It was like every, I don't know, whatever it was, 60, 90 minutes, every 2 hours. We would just sit them on there for like 5 minutes, put on like a favorite song or two. ABCs, and then boom.
Wait for Duty Town.
Just hold up.
The train
And then
to
we
Duty
make it
Town.
big. And when it worked out, we celebrate and we high five and we doing a little dance party.
Yeah.
So we make it big.
I did like a bunch of different little cards of a reward. Like one would be like,
that.
I'd chase you.
Ooh, I like that.
We'd play
Yeah.
a train game together, some things they liked. And then it got to the
Were
point.
they picking them?
It was like in the drawer and they could pick one out.
Nice. Love it.
And then it got to a point where we needed to up the ante for the number 2.
Let's go.
To land.
Okay.
And so I wrapped a present and I put it on a shelf in the bathroom. And I'm like,
if you.
Yeah.
You do a
You drop the kids off at the pool.
Hey.
This kid gets to open a present.
Did you do where you let them walk around with no underwear?
Well, okay, Damon Sumner, this is the part where you're going to be like, Amy, God damn it, no.
Here we go.
We used to have naked time at the house for an hour a day.
This has come up a lot on the show.
Has it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not the first time we've talked about it.
They wanted to be naked, and
What age are we talking here? Because that matters. Context
were
It
little.
does matter.
That means
before school, like
like 4 and younger.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
probably
Okay.
5 and younger, but no,
Yeah,
you
kindergarten,
turn
yeah. I
into
gotcha.
like a real dude when you're 5. And so we have naked time from 3 to 4.
okay.
I'd watch Oprah. The kids would run around
They'll
naked.
run around.
What was the question?
Talking about poop training.
But I know my sister and my brother-in-law came over to visit during naked time.
Yeah.
And they came in.
Did you not know they were coming?
I think I forgot when their plane was going to land and stuff. And they showed up, and then the kids are running around naked, and one of them's using it like a violin, like, like the weenie. And she's like, hi.
What is happening?
What's happening? I'm like, it's
Hilarious.
naked time. We've got 15 more
Hilarious.
minutes of this. Do you want to go to your room?
That's funny. I respect it.
And that helped with poop training?
Oh, no, that just was fun for us at the house. I don't know.
Her husband was away at work. Bugles in the hair. It was a whole time. I respect parenting diversity. Parenting is, my wife and I, we talk about this often, it's one of, if not the most touchiest topics for solicited or unsolicited insight and advice. People will talk politics and religion before you start talking about their parenting skills. It is not a game. And it's tough because, for good parents, you're trying your best to raise a human being. And, there's ego, there's humility, there's confidence, right? And all this big old pot, there's trauma, there's all these things trying to raise 1 to 8 kids or whatever, whether you're doing it by yourself, whatever. But when you get into parenting, it is something. It's just like, hey, you ever thought about, I got it, we're good, okay? She falls often, okay?
Those bruises are not for me.
Okay.
I promise.
Yeah, it's
She's
really
just real
tough.
klutzy.
That's my
And
parenting
sometimes she
tip.
mouths sauce while she's falling. It is touchy. And I think it's also hard to hang out with people who you don't enjoy their parenting style.
100%.
You're like, I can't be around this.
100%.
It's, yeah.
I used to teach for a decade, and so seeing, and there's some gray area, but then there's also black and white. Disrespectful kids can't do it.
I can't
do
either.
it. I'm out.
Yeah.
I can't, because I'm going to step up once if it gets too much, and then if you don't receive it well, like I was trying to support, like if we're friends, it's coming in a place of love, right? And you're like, I'm like, okay, well then we can't. You can come, but they can't. Something's got to give. I can't do it. Can't do disrespectful kids.
Oh my gosh, no. It's, especially I also don't appreciate a disrespectful spouse.
No, 100%.
That makes my tummy flip flop.
100%. Yeah. It's like I just don't need it because
Do it in the car on the way home.
Yeah, like everybody
Like the
else.
God, good Lord intended. You cry in the bathroom and then you come back out.
The post game night fight in the car on the way home. It's just a classic. It's a classic trope I love everywhere.
How sweet is this? My husband and I, the drive home, he's like, I'm worried I said this and they took it the wrong way. And I'm like, no, they didn't. And then I go, I'm worried I said this and they took it the wrong way. He's like, no, honey, you were great. Like, we just talk each other off
the ledge.
off
I
the
hear.
ledge.
You were good. I was good. We were good. We were good.
Were we okay?
We've been
We stayed
in
too long.
social situations before.
Yeah. We know what we're doing out here. We know how to play taboo.
We know how to play taboo. Oh my gosh. And then we talk about who we're worried about. We're like, I hope they're okay.
I hope they're fine out here. He wasn't laughing.
Yeah, I wonder if he's like just really tired. I got distracted. I got just lost in all of the car rides home, Uber ride home from events. We don't drive anymore. We're too old. So actually I was thinking it might be, are you interested in talking about comedy at all?
Let's go in. Let's get
Because
into
you
it.
have nuggets of wisdom, and
Like
I'll
two.
just start with some of the ones you told me, and then you can expound on it. I remember exactly where I was, that wine place in Atlanta with you. What's it called?
City Winery?
City Winery. I was testing you. You did great. City Winery. And I'm like, what am I going to, like, I have all these jokes and they kind of don't work and I don't know what to do with them. And you said, Amy, you put them on the shelf. You never throw them away. Put them on the shelf. And then you come back later when you're better at comedy and they might be able to work. Do you want to explain the shelf?
Sure.
I'm not talking about my awesome rack.
No,
It's not an awesome rack. It's tiny.
You're trying to get people in trouble. Oh, so long story short with that is my experience was I had my opener for like many years before my first album came out a couple years ago was not great, or I wasn't like great at it at the moment. So I put it on the shelf. I go away for a little bit. I come back. I tweak it as a better writer, better performer, and it was like my opener for like 5 years.
What was your? Is that the one about your a girl in a neighborhood?
No, this one was the one about melted chocolate. It was like about weight and being healthy. I have like mac and cheese, beets, pizza, salad. It's like this whole chunk just on food, and food is relatable. You could take that anywhere you want to go. It travels, et cetera, et cetera.
My opener's on food right now too.
It's just a great, starting a show in front of strangers with the expectation to laugh. You just want to kind of let's get in, get a jab, get some momentum, get going.
Was it an aperitif? No.
A palate.
What's the palate cleanser that's you're supposed to like get your appetite going?
Oh, I don't eat that type of food. I don't know.
An amuse-bouche. Yeah, our opener is an amuse-bouche.
Amuse-bouche.
And it's to amuse the bouche, the mouth.
Well, I grew up on Hamburger Helper. We didn't amuse any bouche.
So did I. I loved Hamburger Helper. It's so salty.
Yeah. Oh, very much
Yum.
so.
I love salt.
I'll take a whole serving. But yeah, so to put it on the shelf is that there's always opportunity to get better in the craft. And I think there's always potential. If nothing else, if it can't stay like a full bit, you may be able to take a tag or something from here from there, or it might just lead to another idea. So I never throw anything away. I got a whole Google Doc. Nothing gets thrown away. Nothing gets deleted.
Do you just Control F to find what's in there?
No, you just taught me something. What is this?
So you can is it Control F
in Google Docs?
Yeah, and it'll find a word.
What?
Oh. This
drive was worth it now.
Student
this whole drive
has become the teacher.
Look at this.
This is a game changer.
Please.
Okay, I'll text it to you after. I have to write this down and send this to you. Control.
Are you gonna brag to your kids that you taught somebody a computer thing after this?
No, they'll just punch me in the face. What was that about rude kids?
What was he? 70? No, he was an elder millennial. That's what he was.
He was an elder millennial. So yeah, you can find words. So if you know like some specific words to that joke, you can locate it in the
big.
How many pages is your Google file now?
Oh man, I don't know. We're in the 3 digits now, probably.
I mean,
it's been around. I lost my notebook. My first 2 years of comedy, I lost my notebook twice, and I was out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm out.
Rough.
I need a cloud. I need something else. And then I traveled out of the country, and I've been on a Google Doc ever since.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one. I'm glad that was helpful for you right there. I don't remember that moment, but I'm glad you do.
Every time I go back and I find an old joke and I'm like, oh, if I flip this, I can stick it in here now. I think, thank you, Damon Sumner. So good. And then another word of wisdom you told me, and Kristen Neal.
Yes.
Kristen Miners are going to high school with.
I was going to say, we had Kristen on the show.
We had Kristen on the show. And she and I were standing in a parking lot.
I remember this parking lot. We were beside somebody's car.
And it was hot.
It was hot.
It was worth it to get
this
information. And you talked about being clean so that you can get booked. And then maybe you get to do a cruise.
Did I bring all that up? I said all that?
Well, we were asking you.
Oh, okay.
You weren't just like, wait, don't go home yet.
Like, excuse
I'm
me,
not done talking.
Two white ladies. Did you know?
Real quick. What do you know about the ocean?
Yeah. You don't want to be on a boat for a couple months?
What do you know about the ocean?
Yeah. So clean?
So, yeah.
Who have you had on the podcast who's talked clean?
Andrew Stanley.
Stanley.
And then we had Joel Byers, too.
Stanley is one of the dirtiest comics outside of the mic.
No, he's not. He's so sweet.
No. I love the conversation of clean because it goes so many different ways. And I'm not going to get too deep into it because you brought up the opportunities early on the show.
Well, we can just go ahead and illustrate them again because it's good when people are learning to repeat things and to write them down.
Sure. So I'll just say this because this is one of my, all jokes aside, like, hills I'm dying on right now.
Oh, I love a hill.
Is because the comedy club mindset, that you want to be the marquee name on the wall, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody wants that. I want that. Anybody who wants to go hard with comedy wants that. As you're on the way there, right, trying to go from working a 9 to 5 and you know, doing shows at night to getting to the point where it's like, things are getting really tough and you got to turn down opportunities. Like when you start getting there, it's like, how can I continue to make money, although I'm not getting enough in the comedy club space specifically?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to do something for the first time I've never done. This is a big moment here.
Okay.
I'm going to drop. I need to trademark this.
I'll
I'm going to drop the 8 C's. Here we go. Trademark that. Thank you for that. Right now, there's about 8 C's of comedy in regards to income. And so this is one thing, like when I like do like a comedy class or just talking life or whatever, I try to like open people's eyes because it was eye-opening for me, who was a husband and a father who's like, yo, I'm not playing around. I don't have 4 roommates and live in a 1-bedroom. I got to make money,
or
right?
A spouse that pays for everything you do.
100%.
And thinks you're wonderful all the time.
Parallel, right? And so with that, I was like, how can I do what I love to do and make money, right? And the comedy clubs weren't paying enough. Feature work wasn't enough. It's like, okay, so what are the things outside the club? You ready?
Ready.
Here we go. No particular order.
Okay.
All right. You've got, I think it's 8. Comedy clubs, corporate,
is that
colleges.
Is one of the C's comedy club?
Clubs.
Okay, clubs.
Clubs, colleges,
colleges.
That's
okay.
3. Right there.
Corporate.
You good?
Yes.
There we go. Next 3. You've got cruises, churches, casinos.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom. So that's 6, right?
Churches.
Mm-hmm.
Casinos.
Churches, cruises, casinos.
Okay.
All right? And we're diving deeper here. I think actually maybe 9 now. I keep adding them. So country clubs.
Yes.
Okay. Boom. Was that
Shout
7?
out.
All right. And this one is digital, but it still can bring about for sure because I've made some content. Right?
Content.
I know they took away the Facebook stuff and other ways, but people are making money online, being comedic, being funny, just by their stand-ups, clips blowing viral, right? So that's...
Are you monetizing on the onlines?
A little bit. That's one of my goals for this third quarter 3 is to go deeper with it, but yes. And then it's smaller, but still there, combat, right? People who dive into the military space, ready to go perform for the troops. It's pretty good. Those C's, how they just pop up, right? It's crazy.
Have you done that?
I haven't, but I know a few people who I'm trying to figure it out.
I think you'd be really great there.
So I'm intrigued. I would love to hit that next year.
You'd be really great at all these things.
Well, we'll try. I appreciate you. But yeah, so that's 7, 8, 9. I didn't keep up count. Where you're
Cunts. Oh, sorry. Had to slide that in there.
So you've got now a list, right? If you're really like, okay, I want to go full time.
If you pound on it, it goes into the mic.
Okay, good to know because I used to start using my hands.
Strong jazz hands.
There it is right there. When you really start like, okay, this is what I want to do. I know where I want to go big term, but on the way there, on the journey, this list has really helped me continue to find ways to do what I love and take care of the people I care about.
That's great because you have to have multiple ways of earning income because especially like during the pandemic when everything dried up a little bit. There's also, how do you say, teaching with a sound in the front because you can teach comedy classes.
Oh, classes. If you want to put classes and courses on there. Classes and courses. Look at that. What's that, 9? We're going to build this bad boy up here.
Courses.
Right? And so for myself, I was fortunate enough to go full-time with comedy in 2016. I was teaching full-time. And then I was like, all right, let's take this leap. And I started, and the primary means of income was colleges, cruises, and then show running. I need to find a C for that. But I was running shows in the city that was paying decent. And that was it. And I was doing spots and, traveling around doing one-nighters or whatever. But one-nighters aren't going to pay the bill at the level I was definitely in 2016. So I started tapping into this. And it was game changer. I need commas. Everything above you put above it, put commas above that here. Okay. And everybody's budget is going to be different. Maybe you only need $1,500 to live. Maybe you only need $800 to live. Maybe you need $6,000 to live. So it's going to fluctuate. But if you can start tapping into this, is what I like to tell Comic Show, you really can start thinking outside the box and go full-time faster than you think.
Especially, and that's, so I'm seeing here too, cruises, you need to have.
Oh, that's where we go. I knew we were going
30 minutes, child-friendly, clean. So
it's going to vary per cruise line, but the basis is you're gonna need at minimum 30, like a strong half hour of clean comedy.
Yeah.
Boom.
30 minutes clean that kids can be in the room.
Everybody can be in the room.
And can laugh
Grandmas and kids can laugh. Now, I do not cater to kids.
Right. You're not a magician.
I am not. If there's 50 kids in a room and there's 200, I'm not. These jokes, if you laugh, that's great. I could care less, to be honest with you. But my jokes are just clean. They be on Fallon. They could be wherever they want to be. They're just funny jokes.
And I'm glad you put that out there, Fallon. It could be on Fallon. Did you hear that, Universe? And Oprah and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Come on.
What topics do you talk about in your 30-minute Clean on the Cruise? What are your premises? Because if you can't, are you allowed to talk about doo-doo?
Is that what you say? You said that twice now.
Doo-doo?
You use that phrase?
Poo-poo? I use caca.
What's the main one?
Merd in the house.
You know you know Spanish.
I usually drop a hard shit because it's funnier. Like,
did
you just shit? Because it's funnier if it's like during the day and I'm wearing glasses.
Dude, I've heard that like twice, and it's only been I haven't heard that in a long time. So when you said it, it just took me back to like elementary school.
Dookie. I could do this all day.
I don't do any D's. I do B's actually.
Boner? That's different.
Nope, I don't do any boners.
Yeah.
Did you go to school in Louisiana? Because those are different.
No.
I love your asking for clean comedy advice, and they're like, "But do you say boner?"
Can you see? I'm getting pent up.
Is that what we're talking about?
No. So specifically, somebody asked me this question a couple weeks ago, and it was like, if I'm trying to build it, you good?
I didn't start the timer.
You're good. We're at 42 minutes.
Oh, crap.
42 minutes already?
We got to make sure we have time for this before he goes on.
Let's get out of here.
Well, I would say we got like 5 more minutes we can talk about this before we move to the question.
You're such a
That is my job.
Producer.
That is my,
You've got your big boy producer pants
He's just not here doing nothing for no reason.
I didn't give him a whole picture of margaritas before the show like I usually do.
What were we saying? I forgot.
What topics do you talk about in a cruise? And you have to see these people. If you do poorly, you're going to be at the buffet with them.
Stuck.
You're going to be on the elevator. Wait, do cruises have elevators? Is it like the Megabus?
They definitely no.
If you're on a cruise ship that's like the Megabus, you say your prayers. You try to get that Wi-Fi to send your goodbye emails because you're going down.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, that's it.
That's actually not a cruise ship. That's just a large boat. Yeah. Two different things. You're almost dead. Well, I want to clarify something here because you said, what do you do? I'll speak for myself. Clean act goes anywhere. So it's not, I don't write for cruises, right?
Oh, all of your material. You can decide which one, how you're feeling, how the audience is responding. You can pivot at any moment. You don't have to be like, oh, this is the one where I talk about my butthole, or this is the one where I talk about my spouse's butthole.
Okay, we're talking about two different things.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any non-butthole related stuff?
What I'm saying,
I do not.
That's the problem.
Let me two things because that was you pivot hard sometimes.
Yeah. Amy doesn't know it yet, but I keep telling her she does have ADHD.
So what I want to be clear, I'm saying is I do not write for context I'm going in. I do not write clean jokes for casinos, for cruises.
That's fine.
That's one.
But you're on stage, you're like, this is doing well. What are those premises?
I feel like I can take any premise, but specifically right now, it's family. I got a lot of family stuff right now. It's just like, you and your children, you as a child. Both and. Stories about me growing up, about me being a parent. I still got some food stuff because that's like, weight journey, whatever. But it's really just stories and observations that I think anybody can laugh at. Like one of my favorite bits is on my album, so I just do it really when I'm out of town. It's just about being afraid of the dark. Like it's something I care about. And I'm like, y'all probably care about this too. I don't think we talk enough about how we should be more afraid of the dark as humans. Talk about big cats, right? Cats. So yeah, it's just content like that right now. Just things like that.
The dark is the most dangerous thing for my husband right now because he tries to walk around the house at night in the dark without his phone and a flashlight. And he's run into our little trampoline the kids had. He ran into
you got stairs.
A door. He walked into a door.
This place is too big, so stuff can get moved around too much.
Yeah, we told him. We said we took that off his list of things he's allowed to do. He can rock climb. That's fine. He can run the Grand Canyon 50 miles in one day. Whatever floats your boat. But you may not walk
around
in our home in the dark anymore.
No, brother.
Who walks in the. I walk with my light on my phone.
I sleep with
even
my
in
light.
the day. Even in the day, got the light on the phone.
Just to be careful.
You can never.
I do, but I live a home alone, and I don't have children that will just throw shit out everywhere. So like I can if
you can maneuver.
Yeah, where it's just like I know where I put stuff. I also have
that.
pretty good night vision.
That's a good sign you're not an alcoholic too. If you can just walk around your house at night and know, like, oh yeah, I didn't accidentally leave the basket of laundry right here.
Yeah.
That I was throwing up in. Not a true story.
Wow. Not a true story.
Uh-oh. Are you okay? So
I'm great.
family, growing up, food.
Yeah.
So I think a big thing for like a lot of people for comedy is vulnerability. A lot of people don't understand.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's what people relate to, and it's not, so it doesn't even have to be a story where like you're scared or anything. It's just being able to like the parts of yourself that you feel the most vulnerable about, and how to convey that to the audience.
Opening up.
There's gonna be somebody that's like, oh shit, I do that too.
Bang.
That's the connection.
Right.
And then even if they don't connect to it, they feel like you're being genuine.
And it is because you can
And-
really access those feelings.
And then you can like do that. Like I will just spam spew a lot of stuff at people and be way too honest about things, because then I don't have to tell them any things I really don't want to share with them.
Yep.
And so if you're vulnerable about things that people are like, oh my god, I can't believe we talked about that. Like I used to have a bit when I did stand up because I had a heart attack at 22.
You had a heart attack
Yeah, I
at
love
22?
cocaine. It's not like
You did that much cocaine? You had a heart attack at 22?
Yeah. I loved being. I'm good at being addicted to stuff. But like I would talk about that on stage, and then people afterwards were like, "Man, how'd you come up with that bit?" And I was like, I had a heart attack, and I went to the ER, and they're like, "Why would you talk about it then?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What
do you mean?"
Yeah, and they're just like, that just seems so crazy that you would do that and talk about it. But like, yeah, so I think vulnerability, because you can do that in dirty, clean, or
Wherever you wanna
whatever.
go.
Just allowing yourself to be more vulnerable to where it's a story where somebody can be like, oh, I relate to that. Whether it be you're a dumbass in the bit, it's like you're scared in the bit. It's like, but like that's I honestly think when comics start to stop doing their stage persona so hard and trying to like project a certain image of themselves and allow their real self to be a bit vulnerable on stage.
I love that.
I think that's like some of the best things you can see from like going from like, oh, I'm just open micing to like, oh, I can do an hour now because I'm giving myself to the audience.
It's me on that stage
What
for
are,
sure.
What are your
That's
things
solid.
that you're feeling vulnerable about lately? You go first and I'll go second.
Ooh, spicy. We've opened up. Feeling vulnerable.
On a very special Oprah. I think you have to be Oprah in this one.
Yeah.
Dream chasing. And the ability to, when you look left and look right, it leads to motivation, and it doesn't lead to bitterness and envy.
Amen. I think that has to be hard when you see people get opportunities and you know that you've crushed. I mean, I don't feel this way. I feel grateful for everything I get right now. Like I'm around all these other people who are killing way harder than I am. But I've seen you murder on a lineup.
Thank you.
And so if anyone's getting opportunities, it should be you.
Well, it's all part of the game, so we're putting in the effort. But I wouldn't trade my journey for anybody. It's been fantastic. Where you vulnerable?
Is there a
behind me?
concept to? I will show you in a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my clothes off though.
Yeah. She's like,
It's a mole. I have a mole you
turn
need to
the
look
camera
at.
off. The audio can stay on.
Well, maybe there's some doctors watching. They look at my
Yeah.
mole.
This is really just a nice OnlyFans setup.
Yeah, luckily
right?
this
So-
thing shoots in 6K, so we can real zoom in on it. They can get a good look.
I would love for you to weigh in on the concept of like building your own kind of company, enterprise versus kind of being plucked out of obscurity by like a manager or an agent or something.
Yeah, that's definitely been my journey. No plucking over here. It's it's been what it is. I'll say this. My mentality was I knew I was putting in the work. So I felt like, I was good at my craft, right? That's one piece. So the mentality had to be there for me. And then two, I just had to get to realization. I was like, all right, well, I don't think nobody's coming to save me. Like nobody, I'm saying? Now, they may come save me in a couple of years. I'm not mad at that here. But right now, I was like, I got to go ahead and build this. This is 2016 here. I've got a second kid on the way. I'm trying to figure it out, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, I've got to really get out here and build this plane by myself, right? And so what I became is a self-proclaimed cold email connoisseur. And so whatever you probably know about my career, a lot or a little, it is probably 95% of the time come from a cold email.
A cold email.
A cold email.
Y'all.
My college and cruise agent, my shows that I run, big gigs that I've gotten, it has come from me reaching out on my own, coming at it with quality EPKs and solid emails and following up and doing that tedious, now I'm getting into the weeds, that tedious administrative work that a rising artist, professional, whatever you want to say, has to do on their own. And I know a lot of people can relate to that. Trying to build it yourself, there's a lot of computer research hours, Google Sheets going down, because that's really, you've been kind and use words like killing, whatever. There's tons of killers.
Murder.
There's tons of murderers. But when you really put 200 murders together and we leave that same showcase, who's now doing that extra work? Who sent that follow-up? Who connected with whoever after the show, right? And those other things that begin to set you apart. Like one of my things, if I'm gonna build a tour, and this isn't nothing, brand new, a lot of people do it, but a lot of people don't. It's like if I see a comic I know or even don't know, but I just respect, and they're on the road and they're in Denver, or Tulsa, or Indiana, and they have a flyer, I screenshot the flyer, I put it in a photo album, and then when I'm ready for the hit the road or whatever, right? I have a Google Doc, I put it all in there. So now when I go on the road, I don't just start my cold emails from nothing. I know at least this venue has a manager or owner or whatever who knows good comedy and or at least a good comedian. So now there's already some type of warm lead there. And it's those type of things that I can go on and on for another time that really I was fortunate enough to kind of really pick up on those things and try to build it.
That is amazing advice. I love that. What did you major in high school?
Journalism.
Journalism. So you know how to find a lead, sniff it out.
A little bit of research out there.
I share your vulnerabilities, and then we can ask some questions.
My vulnerability is still the English language, spelling, grammar, recall of words, and I have to post on the internet a lot. So if there's things misspelled on my Facebook and my Instagram, I'm trying my best.
She's trying her best.
And I have arthritis in my thumb. I can't click anymore. And so and then I'm writing a book right now. So it's just, I wallow in my mediocrity and my dyslexia every day.
So like that 222, does that get you right there? Knowing which two to do, which you to do?
I know that one because there was a rhyme that someone I learned, and the there, I learned that. But I can't spell neighbor. I can't spell available, which we have to spell kind of all my availability is. That's
a tough one.
Exercise is a jerk. I don't like that word.
Yeah. Well, those are tough. You had a GH word in neighbor. Then you had anywhere with an X will throw you off. So you're doing okay.
Thank you.
You're doing all right.
Also, there's the phrase dyslexia itself is very rude for people with dyslexia.
Very rude.
Because then I've never been able to spell dyslexic or dyslexic because I'm also dyslexic.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been able to spell. I'm just like, why would you do? It's the same thing with lisp.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo,
hey,
what the
what's happening over
here?
here?
That's the one.
I have a joke of like, there's an X and a Y in the middle of dyslexic. What kind of sick psychopath is trying to win Scrabble?
Yeah, that's
the backs
what it is.
of the illiterate.
Yeah, that's it. You just drop over some bananagrams and they put it together.
I have so many vulnerable stories. Okay, this is a question for you.
Cool.
I have so many vulnerable stories about being dyslexic where I feel like I am embarrassed. My armpits start sweating again. Things that happened in high school. I've made them into jokes. I tell these jokes. However, I've taken them out of my set because I feel like in a room when we're a showcase I'm very rarely just the only person on the show. It's not that it's kind of interesting and it gets laughs, but it's not like, oh my God, what happened? Oh, you just misspelled something. You got made fun of in high school. It's not like a huge deal or high stakes enough to garner enough interest in the audience. And I feel like this is what I'm really noticing recently about good jokes that make the whole room have a good time is they relate to it. So being dyslexic only is a minor amount. So maybe I should write it. This is helpful. Maybe I have to write the jokes in a way that makes everyone relate.
Now we're diving.
Oh, what?
Dive in that thing.
Write the jokes. Okay. You got to talk while I write this down.
Sure. Well, I'm not dyslexic. I love grammar as well.
Yeah.
It's actually one of my things.
What did you teach?
Man, that's great. I taught special ed elementary for about 9 years, and it was great. some cherished memories in there. And language, ELA was my strength. Math and science for the birds. So I was an ELA guy. I could do that all day in my sleep. You want to write an essay? Let's go. You want to do fractions? I'm out. Not a fan of the math and sciences there. But yeah, that makes sense.
When my son was in the second grade, he came in asking for help with math, and I saw him in real time. He looked at me, realized who he was talking to. So he's like, "Mom, I need help." Never mind.
Mom, I need help finding Dad.
Yeah, I need help finding Dad. He just backed out of the room. Like, he didn't want to hurt my feelings, but he also couldn't come up with a lie fast enough because he was new. Now that kid knows how to lie real well, we found out. Hey-oh. Okay, shall we do the nerdy things?
Yeah.
So, yeah, are you going to, I don't think you can talk about your vulnerability of career in your set. Could you? Because people, I think
Definitely
you have to come.
You could talk about
come across as like, I'm the man. You all need to follow me.
No,
you're going to miss a rising star.
Well, this is the thing. It's not necessarily about only sticking to the topic that you're on. It's about, like you're saying, it's about like finding a way to make it relatable, finding a way to relate it to other stories. How does your, not just like, oh, I'm dyslexic, here's specific circumstances in which it affects me. How does my dyslexia bleed into other parts of my life? Things that you realize that have like been affected by that. Things that like you're like, oh, and that's why I always did this. And so it's just about just like, once again, becoming relatable through your vulnerabilities that you're exposing on stage.
I love relatability. It's one of my things I just lean into. That and nostalgia. Those are two. This is before we move on here. Cheat code, if you're listening, you're a comic and you're trying to build your clean act up, is lean into relatability and nostalgia. And those are just two things. Like, I don't know where to start. Those are just two things I just recommend. If you just start there, you could just start. You just start going on rabbit holes. All right, I'm done.
Down rabbit holes. Yeah. Okay.
What are these questions here? You got papers. You print out some stuff.
I am a nerd, even though I can't read these words. I still print them out. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, Damon Sumner. We're going to evaluate how much of a nerd you are and possibly what kind of nerd you are. Or maybe not. You might be too cool.
Nerd. That's a big word.
Okay. Have you ever been to a Rush concert?
Rush concert. Don't even know what that sentence means.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Have you ever had a card collection? Baseball, postcards, Pokemon.
Hey, Pokemon ran the world for a couple years. Don't get it twisted. Snorlax, what's up?
Okay, Pokemon. That's how young you are.
Bulbasaur, we in here.
Have you ever owned or held a tropical bird?
I don't trust birds. So that's,
you know what? I don't trust them either. Their eyes are on the sides of their heads. You can't trust them.
There's definitely some of these questions that only apply to white people, like Rush and holding birds.
Yeah, you never know though. America is a melting pot, and I bet you just have to.
I'm gonna go ahead and give a good safe bet.
Yeah. Have you ever written fan fiction?
I hear this phrase a lot. Give me 5 seconds. What it is, and I'll tell you.
So if someone doesn't like the way Harry Potter ended, they will write a different ending or a continuing book.
He was like, shut that down.
Oh no,
I got things. I got 3 kids.
What?
Okay. Have you ever been to Bible camp?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Did you go to band camp?
No, not.
Did you ever play an instrument?
Nope.
Bible camp and Pokemon cards. We are painting an interesting picture
Come
here.
Come on out here, baby.
Bible camp. Okay. Any other kinds of camp? Did you go to space camp, math camp?
No, my camp was going to my grandma's house in the summertime.
Me too.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Was your grandma, did she run a tight ship or was she loosey-goosey?
She was tight ship.
Oh,
yeah.
My grandmother was a teacher and she was like, we're going to watch cartoons and eat cereal.
Oh, because she wanted to do nothing.
Yeah, she didn't watch Like, I loved going to her house. My mom wouldn't let me have any sugar cereals, and my grandmother
we were up at like
only
7.
Sugar cereals.
Folding clothes. We couldn't do much. Our whole house was like made of glass. All these like black figurines on the coffee table. She had a garden. It was a whole thing.
My grandmother, I'm sorry. That sounds like no fun.
No, it was good. She was amazing. The circumstances were trash.
My grandmother's big chest freezer
there it is
was way better than our chest freezer. It had popsicles. It had the pizzas that go in the microwave.
Pound cake, sweet potato pies. We were eating very good at grandma's house. Peach cobbler with ice cream, living life.
Yeah, total. Grandma's, she kept it stocked.
And the soaps. Did you watch soap operas with your granny?
We watched, not soap operas, but we watched the one with the old ladies, Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls was great.
Thank you for being a friend.
It still holds up.
It still holds up.
That's a good show.
And then I watched cooking shows with my grandfather.
I respect that. Yeah, I grew up on
The Cajun Chef. Did you ever watch that? Because that's from
she didn't have she had 3 channels. It was not. It was soaps news.
Yeah, I watched soap operas with my babysitters though.
Got you.
I watched, what is it? General Hospital with my mom.
See, he was on that ABC. I was on that CBS, Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, Guiding Light as the World Turns.
I agree with that. My mom was the one. She did soap operas. So if we had sick days, she'd be like, you can stay home, but you're not going to get the TV.
No, brother. Gerald just came back from dead, so sit down.
Like sands through the hourglass. Yeah. These are the days of our lives.
That's it. What a time.
I remember that. Have you ever gone through a phase where you wore a costume more than once and it like you turned into a goth kid or had to wear a cape to school?
Not at all.
You're so normal. Do you like Disney as an adult?
Loved it. Well, yes.
We're talking about specifically Disney adults, not just that if you enjoyed Disney.
Okay, she tried to trick me with that one.
I did.
You tried to trick me.
Do you want to go without your children?
Not at all.
Okay. You're pretty normal. Have you ever brewed your own mead?
These sentences, these words.
Once again, that's
brewed and you say mead?
Yes.
Is that something from Vampire Diaries? What does that mean down here?
It's old timey beer or something like that. People make it and like you
pretend. It's a real white thing too.
Okay, I'm not even big on alcohol. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Have you been to a Ren fair?
Okay, all right, you're losing me. You're losing me.
You know, maybe I have to get some like Louisiana nerd activities. Have you ever wrestled an alligator?
That's not nerdy at all. That's fucking terrifying.
That is terrifying. No. But did you put glasses on it before you wrestled it? And just shoved it in a locker?
No, I like all of my dinner dead.
You like all of your dinner dead. Well, that's a good way to start. Otherwise, you're a Hannibal Lecter. Do you have a clip-on tie?
Today?
Yes. No. Do you have a Death Star Lego?
All right. Okay.
Any Lego.
Who's writing these questions? Did y'all write these questions?
I wrote these
questions. They're based off her
Well,
family.
Sammy Eastwood helped me too.
No.
Do you have a soldering iron? Do you have a sword?
Are you speaking Spanish? What's that? Are you like?
Do you have a sword? Have you ever held someone's sword?
No.
That's not a euphemism.
No.
Do you have a coin collection?
No.
You're so normal. You're just like... You're like a picture.
Who's saying yes to these? Which guest has been on your podcast and was saying yes
Amanda Dobbs said yes to all of them.
There's been a lot
Amanda Dobbs, AJ Dobbs. She broke the algorithm and I had to get a whole new list of questions to ask. Yeah, so yeah. Do you get excited for school supplies?
Back in the day, absolutely.
Now.
Oh, what?
How many tabs
we don't have to buy school supplies. They just buy them for us.
No, I'm talking your personal office. Like, do you like to go to Office Depot to like bring your energy down and relax after a hard day? And go smell the paper and the highlighters.
Are you just telling me more like about your life? Is that what's happening? Are you trying to sneak and let me know?
Jackson likes office supplies. Okay.
My guru. Mia's my guru. I do.
She was lovely.
She is the best.
She's so nice. I loved her. Have you ever won a perfect attendance award?
Yes.
So did she.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. School was mandatory for sure.
Have you ever been stuffed in a locker?
No.
Did you read the book Ready Player One?
No.
Do you know all the words to a musical?
One song?
No, a whole musical.
Mary Poppins?
That counts. From the movie?
Also,
I'll take it. I'll allow it.
Julie Andrews. Also, underrated over the last decade is The Greatest Showman.
Do you really like that one?
We love it. We're a big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan in my family.
Yeah. Well, it's also about a big dreamer.
This is true. Mm-hmm. This is true. Mm-hmm. Good times.
Have you ever stood in line for a midnight release?
No.
Do you have a cape? Damon Sumner, do you have an adult cape?
Never.
Never. You're such a girl. You're like, okay, so.
Are these what nerds do?
Yeah.
I feel like there's different type of nerds.
There are. That's why I'm doing a variety of questions.
Those were a variety of nerds? That wasn't one nerd?
Yeah, there's the romantic writing fan fiction nerds. There's the...
Amy's just trying to put people in boxes.
I see. I see.
Okay.
That is hilarious.
I'm going to say... Okay, I have a quick question, though.
Please.
I need one more question for you. Well, two more, really. Were you, like, popular?
Very.
Yeah.
He even said it so confident that it's not cocky. You're just like, shit, the way you said that, it's just like, fuck. Oh, I wish I could have sat next to you at lunch.
This is the lowest score on my nerd chart of anyone we've interviewed so far.
Too cool.
You are too cool for school.
I don't know about that. So This is very
I'm
funny
kind
to
of
me.
excited you're my friend. Like, does this make me a little bit cool?
You have some credibility
There's
now.
some street cool
You got a
cred.
little bit. You got a little bit.
I do. I'm not cool. You know, I walk in asking too many questions, being too honest about how sweaty my armpits are.
This is why we're both sweating now. This is why you're cool here. It's because I know so much about your vagina. And it's
real chatty.
The vulnerability and the transparency you bring to the stage is something I appreciate. Everybody can't do that. So it's good.
Oh. Am I telling too much? Oh well, it's fine. That's
You're a
the
grown
part,
woman.
That's what makes me giggle. That's the part that makes me giggle. Where it's
And
just,
that's half the battle. Are you enjoying yourself on the stage?
Well, I don't enjoy myself when no one else is laughing. That's for sure.
well.
So I got it. It's
We've all
got to
been
be
there.
a team effort. Just like a gangbang, everyone has to pull their own weight.
I don't think any nerds are banging gangs, are they?
You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised. Yeah,
Is that right?
they're
Yeah.
fucking each other. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
A lot.
Because you're like, who's sleeping with you? Like other nerds.
Yeah,
that
and then
makes
there's
sense.
like costumes
see, that makes
and
sense. What's this-
accents.
Real
that they're
quick
putting
question
on.
for you on the
I
nerd
don't
level.
know.
I don't know if this is actually a nerd. What's this furry thing I keep hearing about on the internet? What's
That's
that?
not necessarily furry. Well, that
Furry.
kind
I don't know what it is. That a nerd thing?
It's not
No?
necessarily like a nerd thing because it can be sexual. It can be just like a lifestyle. Because like it's technically classified as like a kink, but it's not always about sexuality. It could just someone's like, I just like wearing cat ears or dog tail.
So at minimum, they're wearing cat or dog ears.
They're
or
wearing
the whole-
something. They have a fursona. Is like that's what this is the animal.
A fursona.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
I've learned a lot.
That's cute. I
Yeah.
like
Learned
that
a lot.
stuff.
I run a nerdy ass podcast where it's like a live role playing game shit. So
Got
like
it.
I know a bunch of.
So it's not just sexual.
It's not just like so like that's like it is. It can be.
It can be.
Sexual. It can just be. I just want to be a fox, and I feel more comfortable like that.
Got it.
Or it can be someone's like I'm wearing a full ass fursuit. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
And and then some of them. This is a little fun fact. Some of them have holes for the genitalia to go in and out of. Some of them
Shut your
do
mouth.
make the prosthetics
Shut your
that are
mouth.
more
So yeah,
like
can I do
animal
it?
like.
Let
yeah.
me do one. There's a thing called pony play,
Okay.
and they put a in the beehole, and then there's a horse's tail that comes out the back of it, so it looks like they have a tail.
Ooh.
Not that I tried that. I saw it on the internet.
She's like, I just did some research.
I was on TikTok last night.
yeah, it got dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Algorithm doesn't know anything.
One more question for you.
Yes.
And then we're gonna find out where people can see you and how they can find you, because I know you have a really fun podcast, Fourth and 10.
Yeah.
The sports podcast that's for people who don't watch sports.
There
if
it
they
is.
don't want to.
The bang.
Yes.
You got that was good.
I've said that a lot into a microphone, introducing you to my stages. Okay. Who's your celebrity crush, Damon Sumner?
You know, for a long time it was Holly Berry.
Oh.
Man,
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
that was Flintstones. I mean, it was just a whole.
Ooh, and her and Flintstones
Come on,
too.
man.
Damn.
Come on, man. It was an era. You know what I'm saying? Today, man, that's a good question. I don't know if I really have one today. You know, if I was gonna lean and say one today, if I go Holly old school, and if I go one today, you know, other old school I had one with Sally Fields. Miss Doubtfire, she took me off.
Oh, really?
Sally Fields is hot as hell.
It was a run. It was a run.
Oh,
It was a whole run out here.
Oh.
Yeah. But present day, that's tough.
I know. I think as you get older, it's harder to have crushes on
That
people
is
because you're like,
tough,
I
yeah.
know they're probably horrible to live with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most of them
Like-
price up. I also like. It's funny because like the way I just look at like beautiful, specifically beautiful people, and even more specifically beautiful women. It just it hits different. Like it doesn't get me all tingly. It's like, dang, she is an attractive woman.
Right?
And I
Like,
just
like
keep
that's a
it.
nice car.
Yeah, like
or
I just.
Yeah,
That's
and then
a nice
and you're like,
man,
anyways, I gotta go
or-
make money, otherwise my kids starve.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it just kind of so it hits different.
It
Those
does.
are two
It
of my
does. It hits
paths.
different. Yeah, you're not
yeah.
gonna put a poster of a lady up in your room and be like,
No.
"Oh, Sally Fields,
I've also-
yell at me and tell me how
Yeah.
I'm being a bad father." I mean,
Also just work
did
around
you
to be
identify
beautiful
with
women.
Robin Williams in that movie? Like,
Oh, for sure.
okay, like
For sure.
yeah.
Robin, legend.
Yes.
I need to watch it again. I need to show my kids.
Maybe
They've
you
never
were
seen
just trying to
it.
be a comedian. You're like, if I am married to Sally Fields in this movie, I could be Robin Williams.
She had an era.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
they didn't end up together.
They did.
No, they
He
didn't.
was he was a neglected father.
Yeah,
But
he
he,
was-
still got to be Robin Williams at the end.
No, yeah. He's great. I love that movie. I'm just saying his character in that movie
Yes.
was not great because
Yeah.
he's just like, instead of doing the work, what if I just
What
lie?
if I just
Yes.
faked it?
And he tricked himself into doing the work because the character he was playing
Yeah.
had rules.
The character did have
It was
rules.
like your house.
character
It was
did
like the
have
way you
rules.
raise your children.
That's what it was.
Is that where you got your inspiration? Did you ever watch?
Fuck.
Did you ever watch the nanny? The nanny, not the Nanny Diaries, but the
You're talking about for Fran Dresser?
no, the
Nanny
one.
911 or something like that.
Yeah,
Super
where
Nanny.
it's the British lady,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's
She
like,
would come to the house.
you are a naughty child. Come sit on the naughty stool. And
nah,
like
we don't
all
do
the
like
men
that.
in America got erections at the same time.
Yeah, I thought you were describing a porno right now. I was just like, what are we talking about right now?
You need to sit on the naughty stool for 2 minutes.
That's just called dominatrix.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all. That's
and
a
she
different.
had the cute glasses, and she was a brick house.
She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing.
She was a nice round lady.
This is before OnlyFans, so she had to find a way to.
I had to find a way to work that out there.
My husband and I watched it together.
Yeah, I wonder
And
why.
we didn't have kids yet.
I wonder why you watched it together.
We were both wanting to be on the naughty stool, I think.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I think the real naughty stool, she sits on your face. Thank you for coming to
Where, tell,
34.
tell people where they can.
Damon, tell everybody where you can see.
Yeah. Check me out. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Damon Jr. 2, DAMONJR the number 2. I post dates. I'm all around. What's this posting like in October?
Oh golly.
This is let's see, in a couple of weeks.
4 weeks.
Oh yeah. So I'll
Yeah,
be wherever
Mia's
I'll be.
right before you.
So check me out on there, and you'll find where I am.
And we put all of the links and
Yeah.
the writing part at the bottom of the
dope.
YouTube.
The
and then-
description.
Thanks. I
Yeah.
don't know what that's called. All right. And thank you for coming. I really appreciate having
Pleasure.
you.
Had a blast. Appreciate
Everyone
y'all.
have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of the time walking your dog. My friend Paula, who listens to this while they walk the dog, and my mom. I don't know how you watch it. And anyone else who's folding laundry, my heart goes out to you. And scene.